My name's Giles Ripley. The project that I'm entering Collabor8te with is called A Kindness. The short film is a very dark comedy centred around three guys, Luke, Ramo and Tommy, and it's essentially like a road movie that goes horribly awry. They're going to Blackpool and then they accidentally hit something on the way there. And it all kind of starts to spiral downwards from that point. When I was kind of like finishing uni, some strong influences at the time with people like Bajowski and like the Duplass brothers, because I was kind of interested in how you could make so much out of so little with films, because you know, they were doing lots of very low budget kind of what were deemed as mumblecore films back then, like The Puffy Chair and Funny Ha Ha and stuff like that, and yeah, that was kind of spurred me on to think, well, what limitations do I have around me and what can I kind of get away with doing with not very much to make films with. Writing shorts, I'm a bit of a weird, I don't know, like I find it very easy to write dialogue. That's the bit that I find easiest. So for me, a lot of my friends make short films, and before they actually go into pre-production, I almost think, what's the point, because I can't really see that much potential in the story. But then once they actually follow it through, it tends not to matter so much. Like they find something that works in the simplicity of an idea that they haven't really crafted that well. For me, I like to have a very structured story that kind of has a very definitive start, middle and an end, and until I've got something that's very satisfying, I kind of amble around for a long time just working with dialogue and not really kind of concluding my ideas so much. So that's probably the hardest thing. I'd say my favourite film, I don't actually know the whole title, it's called The One and Only Herbert Maguire Plays Something Island, and it's got Tim Key in it, and yeah, that's just my favourite short of all time. It's just it's hilarious but very kind of moving at the same time. My ultimate ambition is to eventually write features, and I'm kind of developing one idea at the moment, which is a sort of move on from the short that I'm pitching at the moment with Collabor8te. I'm just kind of using this as an opportunity to experiment with the way that those characters kind of work together. So yeah, that would be the goal, is to be doing features, but obviously commercials are inevitably going to kind of fall into that just because that's how it works. I always find this process quite rewarding. I think it's really important to sort of work with the funding bodies to kind of develop ideas, and really it's a really good opportunity to get kind of an objective perspective on the project that you've kind of had your head sort of burrowed in by yourself for however long, months, years, whatever. So yeah, no, it's a really good stage. I think just learning from lessons that like when I started, and certainly the first experience I had of getting funding was I was a lot more arrogant back then, and I think the best way to kind of approach things is to assume the best of people. You know, if you find that doesn't work out somewhere down the line, fair enough, you can kind of approach that when things get bad, but always be open to the fact that somebody might be able to offer something valuable to you rather than just kind of thinking, no, this is my way or the highway sort of thing.